What's good, everybody? It's time for a DL short. Look, I just did a DL short a couple hours ago about Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell is one of Trump's attorneys involved in this Georgia case, who took a plea. She took a plea bargain, right? She basically she's going to cooperate with the prosecution. She took a deal. Well, right now, a second attorney involved with that case, and Kenneth Chessebro, just took a deal. He just pled out. Um, and this is the guy who was part of the scheme to file fake documents, to have fake electors, and then to take this information to the next level so they could certify fake votes and basically find the votes that Trump needed to win Georgia. This is why they're in case, and this is why they're facing this case. This is why they were arrested, and this is why this was the whole RICO thing. You saw all these people got arrested. This is a very bad day for Donald Trump. But check this out, guys. Shout out to CBS.
Enough time to speak with your attorney, Mr. Aurora and Mr. Grubman.
Yes,
Have you had an opportunity to talk with them about all the facts and circumstances regarding the charges in the indictment, including your potential defenses?
I have.
Do you need more time to discuss your case with either of your attorneys?
No.
And are you satisfied with their services?
Yes.
Mr. Grubman, do you waive formal reading of the indictment?
Yes.
Do you waive any and all defects that may lie within that indictment?
Yes.
Mr. Chessebro, have you been arrested on these charges that lies in indictment 23 SC 188947?
Yes.
The state is unaware.
And this is just the formal process of making the deal official. They have to read all this stuff. They have to ask him all these questions. You know what you're doing. You're not drunk. You're not high. You're of sound mind. You're agreeing to this. Then they have to ask the attorneys, you know what we're doing. Did you give him sound advice? Do you need us to read the entire indictment? Or are you waiving that? We're waiving that. Do you now waive, like, if there might be some undotted I's and some uncrossed T's that we don't have to worry about you filing on that? Nope, I accept it. Okay, cool. So that's what's going on right here.
Aware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges? Do you or your attorney know of any outstanding warrants that involve these charges?
No.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea, which means your attorneys and the state have reached a negotiated recommendation to make to the court?
I do.
Do you understand that the court is not bound by that recommendation and could sentence you to the maximum penalty for the charges?
I do.
That's another thing they do. Like, hey, this is what we came up with, but the judge can do whatever they want to do. Now, 99.9999% of the time, the judge is going to go along with the deal. But the judge will be like, nope, and sentence you to the max. So because you have to plead guilty to whatever it is they said you did. So, and that's what they're doing right here.
Do you understand that the recommendation in this particular case as to count 15, conspiracy to commit filing false documents, is 5 years to be served on probation, a $5,000 fine, and that I believe you're asking the court to treat you as a first offender. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. So he's going to get 5 months of probation. He's going to have to pay $5,000 in restitution. She said fine, but she's going to correct it in a second. It's restitution. He has to write a letter to the citizens of Georgia, basically saying, I'm sorry I did what I did. And he's asking to be sentenced under their first offender, I guess, act or rule or whatever they has. And we talked about that on the other short, where I guess they have a rule in Georgia. If it's your first offense, they have the option to not put this on your record. So you're cooperating. You're gonna accept this felony. It's a felony conviction, but it's not going to be on your record. So that's what they're talking about now, which is insane. I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm sorry, $5,000 restitution. You understand that?
Yes.
And do you understand also special conditions of the probation is that you complete 100 hours of community service?
Yes.
And that you write an apology letter to the citizens of the state of Georgia?
Which I have, yes.
Yes. And that you truthfully testify at all hearings and trials involving co-defendants in this matter, that you have no communication with co-defendants, witnesses, or the media until all cases have been resolved against all co-defendants.
Yes.
And
right there, that's the key. Right. So he's got the 100 hours of community service. That's nothing. This is a sweetheart deal. For this lawyer, this dude's an attorney, and for the other lawyer, you know, Sydney Powell, she's an attorney. This is a sweetheart deal. They don't have any hit to their record. 100 hours of community service, write a letter saying you're sorry. He has to pay, what, $5,000. I think she had to pay like $2,500 or something like that. She got 6 months of probation. He got 5 months of probation. And it's not even like house arrest. It's not like you got to wear a box or something like that. You're going to be monitored. No. Like, they got a sweetheart deal. What does the prosecution want? They want the information he has, because this is the guy who allegedly came up with the whole scheme with the fraudulent electors, and he's the guy who actually filed the papers. This is crazy.
Do you understand that you must give a full recorded proffer with the state, that you continue to also provide documents and evidence subject to any lawful privileges asserted in good faith?
Yes.
And Your Honor, the defendant has already done an apology letter, which the state will tender into evidence as State's Exhibit Number 1. And also this morning, Mr. Chessebro, along with counsel, did give a proffer to the state. And I believe there is an understanding that any outstanding emails, text message, or any of those things will be turned over to the state in a timely manner.
Indeed.
So he already told the prosecutor everything, and he's promised, and his attorney has promised, to get emails, text messages, and whatever else he has, written proof to the prosecution. Remember, we talked about that before with Sydney Powell. She had to give all that up. And not just her testimony, not just her verbal recount of what happened, but actual proof. He just, in court, he's right now saying, I'm guilty of this particular charge. I did what y'all said I did, and this is how I did it. Here is the proof to back it up.
Yes.
Mr. Chessebro, do you understand, as I stated before, if the judge does not follow the recommendation, you can withdraw your guilty plea and go forward with trial?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a guilty plea, well, for your case, you're asking for first offender. So once you have completed first offender, you can honestly say that you have not been convicted of a felony. And I'll go over that with you a little bit more.
Yes, I understand.
And do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on any other convictions you may have in any other jurisdictions in the state of Georgia or outside of the state of Georgia and in federal courts?
Yes.
So he said it right there. He's like, yeah, I one of the things is when you become a felon, a convicted felon, whenever you fill out forms, right, you're automatically disqualified for a lot of stuff if you're a felon. It's that box. Or have you ever been convicted of felonies? Right? There's anything federal, anything state, anything government, you know, anything in the private sector, they ask that question. And if you don't tell the truth, that's a crime. If you're a felon and you check the wrong box, you can be arrested for that. That's a fine. I mean, that's another felony, right? That's against the law. So with this deal, they legally don't have a record. So they can not check that box all day long and be good. This is a sweetheart deal.
Do you understand that you are being placed on probation as part of this plea? As being on probation, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of the probation. Do you understand that? Do you understand that if you violate your probation or any other special conditions, you will be subject to revocation of the balance of the sentence?
Yes.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use firearms as a result of this plea and when you're on probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, this guilty plea will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at trial would, and that this is true regardless of any advice your attorney may have given you or anyone may have given you?
Yes, fortunately, I am.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea?
I wonder what his legal status is. I wonder if he's not a citizen. I don't know, but because they really stress that. But you see that while he's on probation, he can't have a firearm. He can't even have one in his possession. He can't fire. Can't go to the range and just practice. Can't do anything with a firearm. That's a violation of his probation. He can't break any laws. That's a violation, like I said, jaywalking, speeding, littering, all that stuff, right? It's crazy, but that's, again, Sydney Powell signed the same thing. They signed the same thing. man, I just want to get this out to you guys. This is crazy. I suggest you guys, when you get a chance, just kind of do some research on it. If you're a Trump person, this is extremely bad news. Extremely bad. Like if you are a Trumper and you're out there believing this is a witch hunt and this is fake news and all that other stuff, no, it's not. Georgia has him. They have him. The next person they're coming after is going to be Rudy Giuliani. That's going to be something to watch. Is there a deal for Rudy Giuliani? And if there is a deal, is he going to take it? If there's a deal out there for Giuliani, I guarantee you he takes it. So keep your eye out for that. All the rest of the people, they're going to offer them something. It's just easier to get what they want from them. Like, give us the information so they can piece the story together and have it completed. This is what happened. These are all the players. Yeah, they all got deals, but guess what? The guy at the top, Donald Trump, the dude they're after, he's not getting a deal. Rudy Giuliani might not get a deal. They might go after him as well. They might. So we have to wait and see, but this is extremely bad. This is a horrible start to the weekend for Donald J. Trump. I'm pretty sure his people have already told him what's going on. Man, I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I were Donald Trump. I would get a hold of the prosecutors in Georgia and say, hey, what can you offer me? I would just do that and try to get something real small. Like, all right, let me get a sentence of 16 months or something like that. I would try to do that. I would really try hard to just, all right, y'all got me. Because there's no way that he can come up with a defense to go against everything that these people are about to tell him. They're about to put it all on, not about to. They have given the prosecution everything. There are no holes. They know everything. The top two lawyers who were involved in this scheme have taken deals and have already told the prosecution what they did, who they did it for, and how they did it. And here's the proof. Yeah, Donald Trump's in trouble, guys. Big trouble. And this is a state case that I really thought was just a waste of time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was a waste of time. The state normally doesn't come this correct, but this time they did. Oh man, we're gonna keep our eye on this as well. We'll definitely keep our eye on this one. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Trust me, your weekend is going better than Donald Trump's weekend. All right. I'm DL Saint, man. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.